Hello, what a wonderful day that we have today for me to come across your path. And those are African Development Network. My name is Ikenna Emmanuel. I'm the international spokesperson of the African Development Network, a network of professionals like you, a network of very wonderful personalities, a network of people who have a lot of passion when it has to do with the development of the African continent. And for a long time now, we believe that Africa has overstayed her welcome when it has to do with economic, socio-political innovations and transformations. And that's why we decided to put this platform together for you and I, for us to rub minds together, for us to work with in synergy to make sure that our continent, to make sure that our individual nations develop. So whether you are in Africa, whether you are in Nigeria, whether you are in Asia, you are United Kingdom, you are in any of the Francophone countries, you are in America, the Caribbean, and as long as you are in Africa, and as long as you have a great passion to see that the continent of Africa is experiencing development, we're going to work with you. We're going to make your dreams come true. Anywhere you are, just get connected with us across the globe. And we're sure that Africa is going to come up as a rising sun. It doesn't matter what things have actually gone bad for more than 56 years, and several of us have kept wondering what's going on in our continent. Please connect with us and this African Development Network, just like the name goes, African Development Network. It's a network of personalities, artisans, business people, entertainers, political office holders, imams, pastors, clergymen, bishops, medical doctors. We're working together to make sure that we make our contributions in our different spheres of influence to make sure that Africa rises again. And for now, we're being sponsored by the iGold Africa. iGold Africa means Initiative for Good Governance, Leadership and Economic Development. And also the Leeds Faith House Company Limited and the Federal Leadership Center. We are working with those three organizations, and we need to also get more organizations to work with to make sure that this dream, this vision, and your vision comes to realization. I started a series of broadcasts that are entitled 20 Reasons Why African Nations Find It Difficult to Develop Faster. 20 Reasons Why African Nations Find It Difficult to Develop Faster, and 20 things we can do for our continent to develop faster. And I have been able to talk about number one, the over-dependency syndrome. Please, you need to click and then get to our YouTube channel and get these videos. The over-dependency syndrome. I've also handled the issue of the preference of religion to scientific innovation. That was a very mighty documentation that you need to avail yourself of the opportunity of listening to and also sharing with your friends. The preference of religion to scientific innovation. Today, I will be talking about the slavery mentality, the outrageous slavery mentality. I've come to realize, I've been living in Africa for almost all my life, a few times outside the country. I've come to realize that the slavery mentality can be linked to one of the parasites, one of the endoparasites that have affected the rate of development, the rate of the development of the continent of Africa. Several African countries, even African presidents, are living in this slavery mentality. A slavery mentality that have reduced our educational system into a trash, have reduced our judicial system into a comedy cinema. We'll find a lot of challenges that are going on when it has to do with a lot of mockery in the international sphere. When we look at our judicial system, when we look at our educational system, when we look at our economic system, it's not that Africans or African country, we do not have intelligent people. We have a lot of intelligent people, but something is wrong somewhere. Someone can be intelligent person, someone can be educated, someone can be exposed. Sometimes I keep wondering, several leaders, several politicians, educationists, medical doctors, doctors, scientists. Several of them have a lot of intelligence. These people have traveled all over the world. They have variants and accolades of exposures. Yet we'll find out that people find it difficult to introduce what they have to make sure that the continent of Africa develops. You find their country getting stagnated. People who have actually flown thousands of miles in splits of seconds, who have traveled on the smoothest egg-like smooth egg-like or smooth-like egg roads. But yet you come to their constituency, you come to their nations, the place is filled with gallops and potholes. Something is wrong somewhere. I've come to diagnose and I've come to realize that one of the reasons why these people do the things they do and why Africa is where it is today is because of this slavery mentality. And there are things you need to know about. There are indices, there are benchmarks when it has to do with someone who is a slave. A slave is someone who is at the mercy of his slave master. A slave is at the mercy of someone who is his slave master. Is at the mercy of his slave master. Nigerians, Africans, and different South Africans and people living in West African hemisphere, those who are living in North Africa, we think that we can't do anything for ourselves. Even though we have received independence, there's economic dependency that have affected us. That is one of the manifestations of slavery mentality. A slave thinks and believes that he is at the mercy of his slave master. Number two is that a slave is always indifferent to life. A slave is always indifferent to life. We are indifferent to life in Africa. We believe that God will take care of tomorrow. Don't bother. Why are you worried? Even as I'm doing this video, some people are saying, you think you can change Africa? Have you changed your country? Have you changed your state? That is one of the reasons why we are not developing. Just like unlike other countries all over the world, you find them getting involved in the systems. You find them pushing their government. You find them getting petitions. You find them pushing to make sure that everybody comes on the same stage. Everybody comes on a round table to discuss about the success and advancement of their country. Number three is that a slave thinks. A slave cannot think for himself. A slave cannot or does not think for himself. He is at the mercy of his slave master. We'll find out that Africans and several African nations do not think for ourselves. America thinks for us. IMF thinks for us. EU thinks for us. World Health Organization thinks for us. They tell us what health policies that we must absorb. They think for us what educational principles and educational policies that we must absorb. They think for us things that are quite incompatible with our socio-political system. They think for us how we need to run our government. Everything about Africa is being discussed and decided not by Africans, but by Europeans, by Asians, people from China, people from United Arab Emirates, people from America, from Germany, decide the kind of car we need to drive, decide when we need to travel, decide our health status, decide our lifespan. They make rules. They decide for us on everything, and we absorb it hook, line, and sinker. That is a slavery mentality. A slave can't think for himself, and that's why we are bringing this African Development Network for us to begin to think for ourselves. We need to begin to think about how to work within the confines of our culture. We need to begin to work within the confines of our personalities, so that we can do things concerning our continent and make sure that we make advancement. Number three is that a slave sees himself as an inanimate, disposable object. A slave thinks himself as an inanimate or disposable object. You know, when a woman makes use of a sanitary pad, sorry about that, and then she disposes it, we think of Americans and the Europeans, they use us, they dump us, they use our presidents, they dump them, they use our money, there's these migration tendencies that they use our brain drain when it has to do with our bright brains. We offer them visas, and then after making use of them, when they are now old, we dump them. A slave thinks that he is an inanimate or a disposable object. A slave has a beggarly intent and does not have confidence in himself. A beggarly intent and a non-contributive mentality. We need to begin to work towards becoming a contributive society if we want the continent of Africa to change. We are a consumer nation. We are a consumer continent. We are a consumer people. We are not contributing to the affairs of this life. That's why all the decisions that are made in the international sphere, they hardly consider African countries. They hardly consider African nations. African leaders who go to represent us in the international sphere, all they are interested has to do with how they can actually make a name for themselves, how they are just the whims and the caprices of these quote-unquote world powers. This is time for you to arise. This is the reason why the African Development Network has been developed to assist people who will not just stay and begin to beg and live by begging. These are people that will rise up and begin to make contributions towards the development of our educational system, towards the development of our economic system, towards the development of our political system, towards the development of our judicial system, towards the development of our entertainment system. We all need to begin to rise up and make contributions and not becoming a consumer continent and a consumer nation. The next one is that a slave or someone that has a slavery mentality thinks or hates personal development as success because he feels that he is worthless. He feels that he is worthless. He doesn't want to engage himself in personal development. And finally, a slave or someone that has a slavery mentality feels inferior and thinks he can't do anything. I want to let us know with all the aforementioned, whether you don't think for yourself, whether you think yourself as an inanimate or disposable object, whether you think that you are a victim or you have become a stooge in the hand of your slave masters, whether you are indifferent to life, whether you hate personal development or success because you feel that you're worthless, you are living a slavery mentality as a person. You have a lot of potentials inside of you. You have a lot of giftings inside of you. Africa has a lot of great men like you who have a lot of potentials that must be tapped and that is yet untapped. This is one of the reasons for the establishment of African Development Network. Wake up, get away from this slavery mentality. Tell yourself I can do something. Stir up your spirit. Get yourself trained. Break out of these limitations. Let's begin to work towards making sure that we can make contributions with our skills, with our potentials in all spheres of influence. I see you. I see our nations. I see our communities. I see our states rise when we begin to break away from this slavery mentality. I'm done for today. My name is Barr, Ikenna Emmanuel, the international spokesperson of the African Development Network. Till I see you next time, please click on the like button and also the share button. Share with your friends, your president, your legislators, your medical doctor, your lawyer, and let's begin to work together to make sure that Africa rises up again. Please also contact us with the contact number that is on the screen and also the website. See you in the next video. Thank you and do have a nice day.